Hello everyone, I'm Bethany with Texas Women's University Fitness and Recreation, and this is Virtual Pilates. So today we won't need any additional equipment unless you know that you like to have equipment during certain moods, and as always I encourage you to hydrate, take breaks, and listen to your body and honor its requests throughout the workout today. So let's begin. On our backs, knees bent toward the ceiling, palms down on either side of the hips, and a neutral spine. Let's begin taking a big breath in, feeling the ribcage expand, and then on the exhale, blowing out imaginary candles on a birthday cake. And feeling the abdominals contract lightly in toward the spine. We'll keep with this breath throughout the workout today. Let's begin. Taking an inhale and entering into our imprint. Lightly flattening out the low back here without smooshing it to the floor. And then we'll exhale to release to a neutral spine, still keeping the belly drawn in. Again, let's inhale to that imprint and then exhale to neutral. Last one, inhale to that imprint and then exhale to neutral. Let's take one hip roll to warm us up for where we're going next. We'll inhale as we pass through that imprint, and we'll exhale to curl us up off the mat, one vertebrae at a time, into this nice diagonal shape, leaving the backs of the shoulder blades still on the mat. Let's inhale here, and we're going to pulse up for 3, 2, 1. Inhale to lower to just a hover, and then exhale to hinge and lift. Inhale, back to that hover. Exhale, hinge and lift for 2. Inhale, exhale, hinge and lift for 3. Hold it here. We're going to inhale to prepare. Exhale, scoop and lift into a march with one leg here. And we're going to inhale to lower to a tap. And then exhale, scoop it up. Again, inhaling to lower, exhaling to scoop up. Last one, inhaling, and then exhale to scoop. And then we'll inhale to lower all the way down. Switching to the other side. Exhaling to scoop and lift to that tabletop. Inhaling to tap toward the floor. Exhaling to scoop and lift for 2. And then inhaling to tap toward the floor. Exhale, scoop and lift 3. And then inhale, take it all the way to the floor. Exhale here at the top of the move, squeezing the glutes up toward the ceiling. And then we'll inhale to prepare. And then we'll exhale to roll that spine back down to the mat, one vertebrae at a time, releasing the hips back to neutral. Last, where we can take our knees into the chest for a brief knee squeeze here. And then let's release those knees back down to the mat and let the hands frame the hips, palms down on the floor. Let's enter into our head nod and our ab preps. We'll inhale to nod the head, and then we'll exhale to release to neutral. Let's add that to our ab preps. Hands will hover just off the mat of the floor. Let's inhale to nod the head, and then exhale to use the front line to curl us up with control. We'll inhale here, and then we'll exhale to roll it back down. And again, inhaling to nod the head, exhaling to curl it up. Inhaling here, and then exhaling to curl it back down. Last one like this. We'll inhale to nod, exhale curl it up. Inhale, hold. And then exhale, curl it back down. Adding on, let's inhale to nod. Exhale, curl it up. Flex a little deeper for 3, 2, 1. Inhale, float the arms over the chest, palms facing in. Exhale to hold. Inhale, reach. Opposite direction, scissoring the arms. And then exhale, back to center. Inhale, switch, scissoring the other way. Exhale, center. Inhale, switch. Exhale, center. Inhale, switch. Exhale, center. Last round. Inhale, exhale, center. Inhale, switch. Exhale, center. Hold it here. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, fan the arms around. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fan around. Last one like this. Inhaling up and exhaling down. Switching directions. Inhaling, fanning. Exhaling, hands to hips. Inhale, fan. Exhale, hands to hips. Last one. Inhale to fan. Exhale, hands to hips. Inhale, hold. And then exhale, roll that spine back down to the mat or the floor. Give the hips and the knees a shake side to side, along with the head and neck. And then let's flip it on over to our stomachs, going into our breaststroke prep work. We'll take the hands underneath the shoulders, forearms down on the floor. Legs, let's leave the legs about silhouette distance or just past the hips slightly, but not past the shoulder distance, and baby turned out. So instead of super turned out at the hip or rotated out, it's just a slight turn out. That way our knees aren't smooshed into the ground. Alrighty, we'll begin with a neutral spinal placement. I'll be slightly turned to address us, but let's feel the glutes drawing lightly together, squeezing back here and lightly, subtly up toward the back. We're going to feel that belly button drawing away from the t-shirt or the floor. We're going to keep it there throughout our work today. So, in our breaststroke prep 1, let's inhale to prepare in a neutral spine. Then on the exhale, use the upper back to contract you up, keeping the belly still pulling in, pressing lightly into those hands. We'll inhale to hold at the top, and then we'll exhale to roll it right back down. Again, let's inhale to prepare. On the exhale, think of opening those shoulders up, back, and down, using the upper back to contract you up. We'll inhale to hold, and then we'll exhale to curl it back down. Let's take those palms, float them to the hips, palms facing in. On the inhale, we're going to think of opening those shoulders in the front line, rolling them up, back, and down the spine. And then we'll exhale to reach fingertips toward heels, slightly lifting the sternum. We'll inhale to hold here, thinking of growing longer. And then we'll exhale to take it back down to the mat with control. Again, inhaling, thinking of taking the shoulders up, back, and down, opening the collarbones. Exhaling to lift up, tiny amount of extension. Inhaling to hold, and then exhaling to float it back down to the floor. Let's take those hands, stack them underneath the forehead, where they will remain glued the entire time. The breath pattern following breaststroke prep 1 that we started with. So we'll take an inhale to prepare here. On the exhale, let's draw those shoulders down the back, lifting up, tiny bit of thoracic extension. Probably won't go as high, and that's okay. We'll inhale to hold, And then we'll exhale to float it back down. One more like this. Inhaling to prepare. On the exhale, drawing the shoulder blades down the back, widening the collarbones and lifting. We'll inhale to hold. And then on the exhale, we'll float it back down. Noticing that we're keeping the legs and feet glued to the floor the entire time. Now, let's take those hands underneath the shoulders once more. We're going to enter into our full breaststroke here. So, make sure that you've got clearance to fan your arms around. But here we go. We're going to inhale and lift so that the hands are hovering off the mat. And then much like we would in the actual swimming stroke, we're going to exhale, reach the arms forward but still staying lifted. And then we'll inhale to fan the arms around to the hips. So this is when we would be taking our breath in the actual pool. Bending through the elbows to reset the move. Exhaling as we lower into the imaginary pool. And then inhaling as we fan the arms around to take a breath. Bending the elbows, exhaling to dive forward. Inhaling to fan the arms. Exhaling forward. Inhaling to fan the arms. Two more. Exhale forward. Inhale, reach, and then exhale forward. Inhale, fan and reach, and then exhale. We can lower it back down to the mat and take those hands at the chest so that we can press up and back, bending the knees to get us a much earned shell stretch here. Feeling the belly draw into the spine as we take a deep breath in and out. Then we can inhale up tall to our hero pose and shift it back around so that we can set up for our 100. As we have discussed before, there are many places to appreciate the development of your Pilates 100. We can be here, reclining the entire time on the mat, banging on an imaginary mattress behind our palms, with the feet still on the floor. We can maintain this reclining position throughout all of the leg postures in a tabletop, a 90, a 45, or any of the transitions here between those positions. We can also take it from a 45 to a hollow body, which is where we can control as opposed to being released to the floor. We don't want that. Only as low as we can control with that same scooped belly sensation. And then, of course, all of those can be added to the head nod and the flexed up position. At a 90, at a 45, a hollow body, or any of the transitions, including from tabletop to any position. So, if you're up, let's come down for just a moment so that we can get all set up together. All right. If you are in an earlier position, please be patient, or shall I say, stand by, as the rest of us get set up and we can all count together for our 100. So, let's take an inventory of our body and where we want to go. We'll take an inhale to nod the head. Then we'll exhale to flex the spine up. We'll inhale to float the legs up to a tabletop position. If you're joining me in the hollow body, we'll exhale to lengthen it out to a 45 and lower. And let's breathe in 2, 3, 4, 5 and out. 2, 3, 4, 5 in. 2, 3, 4, 5 and out. 2, 3, 4, 5 in. 2, 3, 4, 5 out. 2, 3, 4, 5 in. 2, 3, 4, 5 out. 2, And then exhale, release it down. Give the knees a side to side and the head a side to side if you need to. And then we'll come up and to our side. So last week we did some work with our side kicks and the beginning of our side leg lift series, and we will be building up off of that. With the body positioning, we can go all in one long straight flat line. We can cradle the head here. We can come to a beach lying position as long as the bottom oblique is still lifted instead of smooshed and relaxed. Then we can also come into a side plank position here, again, as long as that oblique is lifting away from the mat or the floor. The legs can be in still one long line, as long as the hips are stacked and not rolling forward or back or doing crazy shifts here. Or if we would like a little bit more stability, or if we just find that we're able to feel the move on our body in this alternative position, we can take 1 foot lengths forward, and for myself, that's where I will be today. So pick where makes the most sense to you. For me, it's going to be this side lying position here, still lifting out of my obliques. I'm going to check in with my hips and make sure that they're stacked, and my top hand can be resting on my hip, resting on my waist, or cupcaked, or lightly resting in front here for stability, as long as I'm not pushing in and relying on this front hand. So with that top leg, let's take it to about hip height, and we'll inhale as we point through those toes, and then we'll exhale, flex through that heel, and press it back through that glute and hamstring. Again, inhale, point forward, exhale, let's take it back. Inhale for 3, exhale, back. Inhale, 4, exhale, back. Inhale, 5, exhale, back. Inhale, 6, exhale, back. Inhale, 7, exhale, back. Inhale, 8, exhale, back. 2 more. Inhale, 9, exhale, back and flex, and inhale, 10, and then exhale, take it back. That was forward and back. Now we're going to return to that central start position, and we're going to go up and down, still pointing and flexing. Inhale to point through the toe, and then exhale, flex through that heel, and press it back down to start. Not all the way here, just to the start position. Let's keep going. Inhale to point, exhale, flex and lower. Inhale, point lift, exhale, flex and lower. Inhale, point lift, exhale, flex lower. Inhale, point, and exhale, flex lower. 5 more. Inhale, and exhale, lower. Inhale, point, exhale, flex lower. Inhale, point, lift, exhale, flex lower. 2 more. Inhale, point, lift, exhale, flex lower. Last one. Inhale, point, and exhale, flex lower. Now let's point through that toe, circling forward first. Inhale, circle, exhale, up and around. Inhale, forward, exhale, circling up and around. Inhale, forward, exhale, circling around. Inhale, forward, exhale, circle. Inhale, forward, exhale, circle. And the last one. Inhale, forward, and exhale, circle. And let's lower that leg to release. Let's shift it on over to the other side. And again, there's options here as far as the setup. We can be in the lifted side plank shape, the beach lying position, so long as we're lifting here through this bottom oblique. We can be in the cradling the head position here, or one long body line here. And then all of the upper body placement can have the legs still in line, or they can go 1 foot length forward. That's where I'm going to be. In addition to, I'm going to be in this lifted oblique beach lying position, and the top hand can be resting on the top hip, the waist, cupcaked, or lightly resting on the ground here to assist with stability as long as we're not relying on it for stability. All right, now once we've got ourselves set up here, let's begin the same practice, taking that top leg in line with the hip, and we'll point it forward, inhaling, and then we'll exhaling, flex through that heel and take it back. Inhale, pointing forward, exhale, heel draws back. Inhale, point forward 3, exhale, flex it back. Inhale, forward 4, exhale, flex back. Inhale, forward 5, exhale, to flex back. Inhale, forward 6, exhale, flexing back. Inhale, forward 7, exhale, flex back. Inhale, 8, exhale, flex back. Inhale, point 9, exhale, flex back. Last one like this. Inhale, point forward 10, and exhale, flex back. Let's let that foot return to that neutral start position, still in line with the hip. We've gone forward and back. Now we're going to go up and down, pointing, inhaling to lift, and then exhaling, flex, and lowering back to in line with that hip with that start position. Inhale, point to lift, exhale, squeeze and lower. Inhale, point, exhale, flex lower. Inhale, point, exhale, flex lower. Inhale, point, and exhale, flex lower. 5 more. Inhale, point, exhale, flex. Inhale, point, exhale, 4. Inhale, point, exhale, 3. Inhale, point, exhale, 2. And inhale, point, and exhale, 1. Circling, pointing forward on an inhale, and exhale, up and around to that start position. Inhaling forward, exhaling, up and around. Inhale forward, exhale, up and around. Inhale forward, exhale, up and around. Inhale forward, exhale, up and around. Last one, inhale forward, exhale, up and around. Other direction, inhaling back, exhaling, up and around. 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 And last one, inhaling back and exhaling, up and around. And then we can release, taking that leg back down to meet its mate. And just for good measure, to get our breathing centered again, let's press it into a brief shell stretch. Breathing in nice and deep. And then exhaling, really pressing in, feeling that core draw in toward the back of the spine. And then we can inhale, up nice and tall. All right, let's take it down to our stomachs once again, prepping for our swimming. So we'll begin with the hands stacked underneath the forehead, glued together and staying on the floor. So we'll do lower body isolation first, upper body isolation first, and then everything all together last. So with the legs, we're going to think of lengthening them on an inhale. So we'll take a full breath cycle in and out to prepare, feeling the glutes draw together and up, and feeling the belly button draw away from the mat on an inhale. And then being maintained on our exhale. And then on our inhale, we'll think of lengthening those legs so far down the mat that they have no other choice but to lift. And then we'll exhale to lower them softly back down. Again, inhaling to lengthen both legs up to lift, and then exhaling to lower down. Last one, inhaling to lengthen and lift, and then exhaling to lower. Same with the upper body. Lower body stays glued to the floor the entire time. Arms are going to be about shoulder distance apart. And we're going to think of, instead of the shoulders going way up here, they're going to be drawing lightly down the back together. Now, upper body and arms are going to move together. So we're going to do one arm first, then we'll do the other, and then we'll do both together. So, starting with your favorite side, let's take a full breath cycle in and out to prepare, breathing in, and feeling the glutes squeeze and the belly draw away from the floor, and exhaling to stabilize. Let's inhale to lengthen and lift, chest and arms together, and then exhaling to lower down. Switching sides, inhaling to lengthen and lift together, and then exhaling to lower it down. Both arms and chest together, inhaling to lengthen and lift, and then exhaling to lower down. Now, legs and arms are going to lift together on an inhale, and then they'll hold for an exhale, and then we'll go into our swimming, breathing in for 5 counts and out for 5 counts in an opposite raise, lifting with a tiny pulse, each opposite arm and leg, tiny bit higher on each count. So, here we go. Taking a full breath in and out to prepare. Breathing in and out. On the inhale, everything reaches long and lifts. We'll hold for an exhale. And then let's breathe. Breathing in 2, 3, 4, 5 and out. 2, 3, 4, 5 in. 2, 3, 4, 5 and out. 2, 3, 4, 5 in. 2, 3, 4, 5 out. 2, 3, 4, 5 in. 2, 3, 4, 5 out. 2, 3, 4, 5 in. 2, 3, 4, 5 out. 2, 3, 4, 5. Last one in. 2, 3, 4, 5 out. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, everything lifts. And then exhale, lower it down. Nicely done. Let's press it up and back for a very brief shell stretch. Breathing in and out. Then from here, we're actually going to shift to a tabletop stance. This is going to be a several part practice. Hopefully it will be enjoyable. We're going to begin tucking those toes, entering into our hovers. So keeping a neutral spine, shoulders coming gently down the back and together. We're going to take a breath in to prepare. On the exhale, let's hover those knees just about half an inch off the mat. And then we can inhale to lower. Let's take 2 more like that. Exhaling to lift. And then inhaling to lower. 1 more like this. Exhaling to lift. And inhaling to lower. Now from here, let's step those knees a tiny bit back so that if you were to lift up and press through those heels, you would end up in your plank because that's where this is going. Let's take a breath in to prepare. On the exhale, press through those heels. Lengthen out into your plank. Check in with your belly. We don't want to be here with the glutes piked up. We want to be in a nice neutral spine with maybe a tiny imprint. Take a breath to hold here. And exhale. And then on the inhale, let's lower those knees back down. All right, continuing on. Let's exhale, lengthen out. Inhale to hold, and then exhale to lower back down. Last one. Inhaling to prepare, and exhaling to lengthen out. Inhaling to hold, and this time exhaling to shift forward. Inhale, press through those heels to return. And forward for 2. Shifting through the heels back. Last one, exhale forward for 3. Inhale, shift back, and then exhale, drop those knees. Let's take a quick child's pose here, shifting the hips toward the heels, giving the head a nod yes and a shake no. And then let's inhale right back to our start position, tucking those toes. Exhale, lift into that plank, and we're going to enter into our push-ups. You can always drop the knees here if you would like, but where we're going to go is we'll keep the elbows into the rib cage, and we'll inhale for 3, 2, 1. Exhale, lifting up, keeping the elbows into the rib cage the whole time. Let's inhale, 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 and then exhale. Draw it up for 2. Last one. Inhale, 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 and exhale. Up for 3. And then let's inhale to drop those knees and exhale. Shift it back. Child's pose. Breathing in and out. On the inhale, lengthen you up to a shell stretch, and exhale. Deepen that stretch, and then inhale to stack it up. All right, let's come to a cross-legged position for our spine twists. We're going to take the arms out into a T here. If we find that we have shoulder discomfort or we feel like we're sort of curling back, we can take those arms into more of a 45-degree V shape here. So know that you have options, or if you're like, none of this is working, we can always come to a first position here with the arms. We've got our arms open wide, palms facing down. We're going to take an inhale up, nice and tall. And then on the exhale, we're going to rotate and bend the elbow in the direction that we're turning. And we're going to exhale for 3, 2, tiny pulses, 1, and then we'll inhale to grow tall back to center. Switching sides, exhaling, bending the elbow for 3, 2, 1. Inhale, back to center. Switching again, exhaling for 3, 2, 1. Inhaling to center and exhaling for 3, 2, 1. And then inhaling to center. Let's take a last round. Exhaling, bending the elbow for 3, 2, 1. Inhaling to center. And last side, last time. Exhaling for 3, 2, 1. And then inhaling back to center, and we can float those arms down. Let's take those legs out in front of us, about sits bones distance apart. Knees bent, feet on the floor. Unless we've got tension here, or we find that our body wants to shift us back, then we can flex through the heels and press out a little bit further. But we want to be able to sit up nice and tall with minimal hip tension here. We'll take the fingertips and let them be light on either side of the legs. And we'll take a nice deep breath in and up, nice and tall. And then on the exhale, we'll nod the head and flex that spine forward, curling down, walking the fingers forward with us for a little bit of tactile reinforcement. We'll inhale here to hold, feeling that ribcage expand. And then we'll exhale to hold. And then on the inhale, we'll use the core to slowly stack us back up to up nice and tall. Excellent. Let's find a comfortable seated position for us where we can take our last breath together of class today. Taking the arms out to the sides, we'll inhale to take everything up, and then we'll exhale to take the hands down in front of the center of the body. All right, you guys, thank you so much for joining me for this week's virtual Mat Pilates class today. For the next few weeks, we will be building upon what we have worked on throughout the semester so that the last virtual class is going to be a nice, quick, progressive, and hopefully comfortable but challenging flow. So we've all got that to look forward to together. In the meantime, you guys hydrate appropriately and take good care of yourselves and your bodies.